And you're likely wondering what we've had to drink now.
Hey, howdy, hey, welcome back to All About That Disney Life. I am Danny B, the girl who is all about the Disney life. We now move on to our next Disney musical. It is Peter and the Starcatcher, which came out in 2009. So here are the facts. Number one, the backstory. Peter and the Starcatcher is a play based on the 2004 novel Peter and the Starcatchers by Dave Barry and Ridley Pearson, adapted for the stage by Rick Elise. The play provides a backstory for the characters of Peter Pan, Mrs. Darling, Tinkerbell, and Hook, and serves as a prequel to J.M. Barrie's Peter and Wendy. After a premiere in California at the La Joelle Playhouse, the play transferred to Off-Broadway in 2011 and opened on Broadway on April 15, 2012. The show ended its Broadway run on January 20th, 2013, and reopened Off-Broadway once again at New World Stages in March of 2013, ending in January of 2014. Number two, the productions. The play premiered at the La Joelle Playhouse in California, running from February 13th to March 8th, 2009. It was co-directed by playwright Rick Elise's partner, Roger Rees, and Alex Timbers. An instrumental score was written by Wayne Barker. The play, now titled Peter and the Starcatcher, opened off-Broadway at New York Theater Workshop, beginning performances on February 18, 2011. The show received several extensions, eventually closing on April 24, 2011. The show then opened on Broadway at the Brooks Atkinson Theater, with previews starting on March 28, 2012, and officially opening on April 15, 2012. Art for the Broadway production, which draws upon the whimsical, imaginative content in the show, was crafted by Vermont-based woodworker John W. Long and featured in the New York Times. The Broadway production of Peter and the Starcatcher closed on January 20, 2013, after 18 previews and 319 regular performances. The show reopened off-Broadway at New World Stages beginning on March 18, 2013. It closed on January 12, 2014. A national tour launched in Denver on August 15, 2013, and concluded in Pittsburgh on May 25, 2014. A second national tour launched in Toledo on February 5, 2015, and concluded in Burlington, Vermont on April 14, 2015. An Australian production of the play, produced by Dead Puppet Society, opened at the Canberra Theatre Centre on October 15, 2024, before touring to Melbourne, Sydney, and Brisbane. It was directed by David Morton, with additional music by James Dobinson and movement direction by Liesl Zink. The play is available for licensing from Music Theatre International. Number three, the critical response. Although the show garnered positive to mixed reviews by most critics, it received a rave review from the New York Times, with Ben Brantley writing, "When the HMS Neverland goes down in Peter and the Starcatcher, it's the most enthralling shipwreck since James Cameron sent the Titanic to her watery grave in the late 1990s. The cast is, with no exceptions, wonderful. It's a performance that you might classify as over the top, but only in the sense that the entire production is. With grown-up theatrical savvy and a child's wonder at what it can achieve, Peter and the Starcatcher floats right through the ceiling of the physical limits imposed by a three-dimensional stage. While there's not a body harness in sight, like those used to hoist the title characters of Mary Poppins and Spider-Man, this show never stops flying. Number four, the awards. We'll start off with the off-Broadway production. At the Lucille Lortel Awards, this musical won for Outstanding Choreographer, it won for Outstanding Lead Actor, and it won for Outstanding Scenic Design. At the Drama Desk Award, this musical won for Outstanding Music in a Play. At the Tina Awards, this musical won for Best Sound Design. And at the Ubi Awards, this musical won for Best Director. Now, for the original Broadway production, at the Tony Awards, it won for Best Performance by a Feature Actor in a Play. It won for Best Sound Design of a Play, Best Lighting Design of a Play, Best Costume Design of a Play, and Best Scenic Design of a Play. At the Broadway.com Audience Choice Awards, this musical won for Favorite Play, it won for Favorite Actress, and it won for Favorite Funny Performance. Number five, the impact and legacy. Peter and the Starcatcher revolutionized modern theater by reimagining the origins of Peter Pan. Its legacy rests on proving that immense emotional renaissance and scale can be achieved on stage using nothing but basic props and actor ingenuity, championing a love letter to theater style that has since become a staple in performing arts. Number six, the origin and impact of the story. Originally sparked by a simple question from co-author Ridley Pearson's daughter, how did Peter Pan and Captain Hook first meet? Dave Barry and Pearson penned the best-selling 2004 novel Peter and the Starcatchers. This swashbuckling prequel, rich with star-stuffed magic and deep origin lore, was a massive hit on its own. It spawned 4 direct sequels and numerous spin-offs, fundamentally reshaping the modern mythology of J.M. Barrie's classic world. Number 7, the theatrical revolution and creative legacy. In 2011, Rick Elise adapted the novel into a play with music that took the theatrical world by storm. The show's production style became legendary in its own right. The story theater technique. The play utilizes only 12 actors to portray over 100 characters. It asks the audience to use their imagination rather than complex animatronics, using everyday items like ropes, umbrellas, and towels to simulate storms, jungles, and moving ships. Critical acclaim. It garnered 9 Tony Award nominations and won 5, more than any other new American play at the time, firmly cementing its place in Broadway history. Unprecedented success. It achieved something rarely seen in the industry. It successfully transferred off-Broadway to Broadway and then transferred back to off-Broadway, proving its enduring, intimate appeal. Number 8, the long-term cultural impact. Peter and the Starcatcher also transformed how theater is produced in schools and community groups. By relying on hyper-theatricality rather than expensive cinematic set pieces, it empowers students and local actors to focus on acting, movement, and ensemble work rather than budgeting. So, Peter and the Starcatcher, never ever heard of this in my life, and I love the fact that it is a prequel to Peter Pan before Peter takes Wendy, John, and Michael off to Neverland. And you kind of get the backstory of how Peter and Captain Hook first meet and become enemies. And then you find out that Captain Hook wasn't always Captain Hook, obviously, but he became, what was it, like Captain Stash or something like that? It had something to do with a mustache. I can't remember, but I did find not really a trailer, but it was like clip highlights of the musical rolled into one that's on YouTube. So it looks really interesting, and the fact that it's not an extravagant like set design and the props that they use are like everyday stuff around the house. That's like improv comedy meets musical, and love the fact that they have to rely more on the improv and imagination using household items rather than using expensive equipment. Like that kind of brings it back down to like a humble kind of performance, but it looked interesting to me. So there you have it. Those are the facts to Peter and the Starcatcher. If you like this video, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe, and I hope you have a zippity-doo-dah day. Goodbye.